So this video is on the ambiguous case worksheet. And the ambiguous case occurs when you have side-side angle, which does not form a congruent triangle. So right now I'm just sharing, and I showed this earlier in class. If I have two sides that are predetermined, so those are my two sides, and then an angle, and this angle is not the angle in between. Okay, so notice I have A, B, and then I have BC. So angle B would have been the one that's in between these two line segments. I don't have that one. I have either A or C, which is on the outside. So if I'm trying to form a triangle with this, I'm going to have A line up with B, and it's going to shoot a ray. So this angle is going forever and ever this direction, and it would go forever and ever this direction, but it ends here because this is the length that was predetermined. And I'm going to take this B, let me just angle this better, and I'm going to put it here to line up with this B. And then I'm going to try to form the triangle. So this side here was predetermined, this side here was predetermined, and this angle set. So this line, which is predetermined, is going to come and hit this angle, the ray from that angle, and it makes a triangle. Now, these three are the same values as the last one. They just changed the lettering, okay? So let me put my angle J here, and I'll do it the same direction that I had it here. Let me just move it down a little bit so we have a little more space. So there, the ray continues forever and ever, and so let me put S here. Just move this a little bit. Okay, and we want to kind of see, can I get another triangle? So if I come this way, swing this way, I would end up with the same triangle that I have there in blue. But if I come this direction, okay, again, it's the same length, and I come here until I hit here, then I form another triangle. So these two triangles, even though they all have the same two sides and that same angle that's not in between, you get two different triangles. This is when we have the ambiguous case. And we're dealing with this when we have law of sines, okay, is when we're going to deal with this. So let's get to the worksheet. So for this one, you'll notice that what I have here is I have this 40 and this 5, so I have a pair, okay? And I need to find this angle. So this would be a situation I would use law of sines, because again, I know an angle with the side opposite it, and I can use the side here and to find the angle opposite it. So I'm going to use law of sines, but this is side, side, angle, side, side, angle. And that's when we have the ambiguous case. So what's going to happen is when we find this angle here, X, and I'm going to relabel this A, B, C, just so that we can see the relationship here. But for this, I can have more than one possible angle, just like in that example I showed you earlier, okay? Because this is predetermined, this one's predetermined, okay? And we've got this angle, and this one here where the 5 is can go and be moved and maybe hit this direction, or maybe if it flips around, it's going to hit on the other side and get a different sized, okay? So that's what we're going to be looking at. So in this case, I was just going to put some letters here. So let's say this is capital A, little a, capital B, little b, whoops, B, and capital C, little c. Okay, now again, I'm going to be using the blue ones to get the orange one here. So I am going to be doing sine of A, which is 40, over 5 equals sine of, I'm going to call that b over little b, which is 7, and I'm going to cross multiply and solve. So I'm going to end up getting 5 sine b is equal to 7 sine 40. I'm going to divide both sides by 5, and I'm going to get sine b is equal to 7 sine 40 divided by 5. Now, I am trying to find b, the angle, not the sine value. So I am going to be doing sine inverse. So I'm going to get b is equal to sine inverse of this quantity, 7 sine 40 over 5. And I'm going to put that into my calculator, and I'm going to find my angle B. So when I put this into my calculator, I'm going to do, I'm going to do sine inverse, and I'm going to do alpha y equal, and then I'm going to get my fraction, and so I'm going to go 7 sine 40 over 5, and I'm going to end up getting 64.15. Always make sure that it's in degrees first. Okay, so 64.15. So 64.15 degrees. Okay. Now they want us to solve for the rest of this. So we're going to have to find C, angle C, and little c. So if this is angle B and this is angle A, I know that all three in the triangle need to be equal to 180. So I am going to go 180 minus 64.15 minus 40. And I'm going to get 75.85 for C. So 75.85 degrees. And then I'm going to find little c. Here, I should make this one look like it's a bigger c. That's capital C. So now to find little c, I can use law of sines again. I'm going to set it up like this. I'm going to use the blue, sine of 40 over 5 equals sine of 75.85 over c. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a line here. Okay, and so I'm going to go sine of 40 over 5 equals sine of 75.85. 75.85 over little c, cross multiply and solve, okay? So I'm going to get c sine of 40 is equal to 5 sine of 75.85. I'm going to divide both sides by sine 40. So c, little c, this is little c. Little c is equal to 5 sine 75.85 over sine of 40. Okay. And I'll put that into my calculator. Okay. I'm going to put it on this side. Okay, so I am going to do alpha y equal, get my fraction, 5 sine 75.85 over sine 40. And I'm going to get 7.54. So c, little c is equal to 7.54. So here, I'm going to zoom in here. Little c is equal to 7.54. Okay, so these are one triangle. Okay, now remember, this was side-side angle, so that means I could have had a different angle value besides this angle B here, okay? So we had gotten the 64.15. It could have been the other one. And to find the other one, what you're going to do is, and let me just kind of draw a line just to split this. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, in order to find what the other b is, so I'm just going to say other b, you're going to take 180 minus 64.15, and that's going to give you what the other b could have been. And so when I put that into my calculator, okay, and I'm going to go 180 minus 64.15, I end up with 115.85. 115.85 degrees, so that's B. Now, if that's my new B, possibly, and I'm saying possibly because you always want to make sure that the triangle makes sense. You want to take this angle and the 40, which we already know, and make sure that we don't have more than 180 already, okay? Because then that would not be possible. So you might end up having one triangle, you might end up having two triangles, you might have none. Well, I definitely have one, okay? Now I have to see if I take this 115.85 and I add it with 40, do I have enough to get left over that I can still have an angle to get to 180? I do. If this was more than 180, then I would only have had the one triangle. Now, if I take 180 minus this answer, so these are the two angles, the 40 that was given, my new B, and so if I take 180 minus this, this will give me my new C. So new C is going to be 24.15. So our new C is going to be 24.15 degrees. And again, what did I do? I took this angle B, this angle A, and I did 180 minus them to figure out the third angle. And now I'm going to use law of sines, and I'm going to do sine of 40 over 5 is equal to sine of 24.15 over little c. And we're going to cross multiply and solve. And so when I do that, I get c sine of 40 equals 5 sine of 24.15. I'm going to divide both sides by sine 40. So little c is going to equal 5 sine 24.15 over sine 40. And I'm going to see what my c is. Okay, so I'm going to do alpha y equal 5 sine 24.15 over sine 40. And I end up with 3.18. So little c, okay, so here's big C. My little c is going to be 3.18. So these are the values for the other triangle. And again, this is when you have side angle. Okay. So on the next one, let's see what we have here. Now, again, I'm just going to kind of, let me just write letters here. Okay. Let's say that this is A. I'm going to color code. Okay. So let's say that's A, B, C. This, where this is X, okay, this is X. I'm going to say that this is little c. That's what I'm going to be finding here is little c. Sorry, it's not in the picture. And then my little b, that is my little b. And my little a, that is little a. Okay, so little a is equal to 16 because it's across from big A. Little b is across from big B, it's 10. Big angle C is 42. I'm trying to find this one right here. This is the one I'm trying to find. Let me just highlight it. Okay, that's the one I'm trying to find. So looking at this, I don't have any pair. And sometimes maybe if I know two angles, I can find the third angle and then I can get a pair. I don't know any pair. So that means I'm not going to use law of sines. I'm going to use law of cosines. And since I want C, the formula I'm going to do is C squared is equal to okay, so let me zoom in here. Okay, so C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C. Okay, let me get that in the picture. Okay, so C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times cosine of C.